Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boys blues, 1975. Using girls on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long boys blues, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Longboys Post 1975, and welcome to a collection video which is not about games or Back to the Future memorabilia and or merchandise. A few people have asked me what sort of things I collect outside of those two sort of main staples of collecting, Back to the Future and retro video games, and this might surprise you. Well, it will surprise people who actually know me in person because they know that I was raised on Marvel Comics. I absolutely love Marvel Comics. Have an absolutely massive collection of old school Marvel Comics stuff, like the entire run of Tom McFarlane on Amazing Spider-Man, which is basically the pinnacle of my collection. The entire run of Eric Larson. I absolutely loved and adored Marvel Comics back in the day. Not so much now. Cough. Snowflake. Safe Space. Woke shit. Really? And you know the worst thing about that? When that comic book absolutely tanks, and it will, they'll blame all the fans. It's never their own fault, is it? It's never their own fault. Anyway, we don't really need to talk about that. What I want to talk about is, yeah, people don't really see that I'm a DC comic kind of person. And I guess, to be fair, I'm not really. I mean, there was a big chunk in the 90s where I was massively into DC. The Death of Superman, Reign of the Supermen. I actually quite like that. I know. Even black suit mullet Superman. What were they thinking? And then there was the whole Nightfall. I really like Nightfall, and I love Night Rise. Is it Night Rise? I can't remember. Now, you know the one where Batman comes back and takes the mantle back from Azrael. So yeah, I'm not really a DC staple guy, but there's one thing I absolutely love, and that's the Batmobile. I don't know about it, why it is about it or something like that. I guess it is a boy being watching the 60s Batman from a very, very, very early age, just having a car themed, decorated like your alter ego crime fighting personality was just something I've just always totally got on board with. And over the years, through many, many, many cartoons, many movies, some brilliant, most of them absolutely shit. I'll do a quick touch on those movies. Some games that are absolutely brilliant, lots of games are absolutely shit. But there have been so many iterations and redesigns of the Batmobile that I collect them. I don't open them. Come on, it's me. You know me. I don't open Batman stuff. I don't open any stuff. But yeah, I collect Batmobiles, specifically Corgi Batmobiles. I don't know what it is about Corgi. No. Psh. Hey, see what I did there? Psh, think about it, Batman. Specifically Hot Wheels. I think it is because obviously there was a dinky Batmobile, which I had as a kid, and I wish I had now because it'd be worth a fortune, even unboxed. But Hot Wheels just make stuff affordable when it comes to collecting. There are many things bigger, better designed, but I don't know. If you're going to have a large collection of anything, then affordability is key. And yeah, so I've collected over the years. Well, I'm going to show you them. It's not a massive collection. It's slightly bigger than most would, have, I guess, a collection of Batmobiles and stuff like that. But yeah, I have a collection of Batmobiles, Hot Wheels Batmobiles. Normally they're in a glass case. I've taken them all out of the glass case. With special little stands because obviously that bit there makes it difficult to display them. Would they look better out of their box? With maybe the blister pack glued back together? Probably, but I'm OCD and I don't open shit. Anyway, 60s Batman, Burt Ward, Adam West, absolutely fantastic. Raised on it. Super Friends and stuff like that, the cartoon, I absolutely love that. It's not until you're an adult you realise that how little actually happened in it. Batman 89 is still my favourite and the best Batman of all time. Michael Keaton is the best Batman, Jack Nicholson is the best Joker, and that's the best Batmobile of all time. Batman Returns, I liked it more than Batman 89 for a while. I mean, I saw it on opening, I saw both of them on opening, but I saw Batman Returns on opening in America. And yeah, I loved it for years. And then suddenly I realised that Batman is the superior movie. Batman Forever, yeah. Do you know, supposedly there's an R-rated cut out there somewhere which people would love to see, kind of like what they did with the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2. And so while they kind of dumbed it down and, it wasn't as dark as the original two Batman movies because they didn't want it to underperform, even though Batman, Returns was massive. Yeah, so they took out what they thought would be more displeasing for parents and stuff like that, and I guess ultimately kissing McDonald's ass. I mean, look up the whole debacle. McDonald's had a big hand in it. So yeah, Batman Forever. There's bits I can enjoy about it. I didn't dislike Val Kilmer. I disliked the script and stuff like that. Then Batman and Robin. What Batman and Robin? There's no Batman and Robin. Batman Begins. It's alright. Dark Knight. I don't understand how this is considered the best superhero movie of all time. Ignoring the fact that the fight scenes in these movies are rubbish, make you want to throw up, and you've got a Batman who's not actually very good at Batmaning. I know taste is subjective, so if you like it, good for you, Jim Dandy and all that shit. I don't understand why Dark Knight Rises is considered the best superhero movie of all time. Even at the time, it's alright. Maybe feel nauseous when they fight. Heath Ledger, yeah, he's brilliant in it. He's absolutely brilliant in it. That's not the Joker I want, though. I mean, I know it's a more hard-edged, realistic Batman, but again, that's not the sort of Joker I want. And then there was I can't even remember. Dark Knight Rises is obviously the third movie. It's not even a fucking Batman movie. How often is Batman in it? And I don't know. Bane, yeah, all right, whatever. Again, I don't understand how this is considered the greatest Batman trilogy of all time. Who knows? Batman versus Superman, shit movie, awful movie, and I really didn't want Ben Affleck to be Batman, but he's a good Batman in it. He's a really good Batman in it. It's a shame we will never get a true Batman movie with him in it. Justice League, maybe we'll get to see the Snyder Cut one day and understand what it was all about, because the reshoots or reshot scenes, and I don't just mean the tash removal thing, they stand out like a sore thumb. That movie was rubbish, absolutely rubbish. Batman wasn't Batman-y enough in it. Anyway, so I've talked quite a lot, and we've not even seen any toys yet, so I'm going to start with the big box. Hot Wheels. I was going to say Corgi again. The problem with Hot Wheels is, and obviously some of these are from abroad, specifically America, so they don't mix in with the rest. And then even when it comes to the purely UK ones, the sizes go up and down and all over the shop. There's no consistency to their form, but that's a small thing to complain about. But we're starting with the big ones, and I was sent this from Dean from Escape to Gaming, and it's the original Batman. I think it's such an amazing car. It's such an amazing custom car. It only went 30, maybe 40 miles an hour because it was so heavy, hence the fact that you will see it sped up. But also I really like these boxes. Just nice, like I said, it's a shame that consistency is all over the shop. But boring random fact, they tested the boat, on a lake, and that thing went so fast, because was it jet powered that the old Bill were called, because someone called it insane because it's going so fast. They actually thought it was a UFO. But the original Batmobile, despite being a stunning looking car, and inventing the car telephone, it's probably the best and probably still the most iconic Batmobile. But yeah, that came all the way from America, and then the next one came from Padamus. It's slightly bigger scale, but it's Hot Wheels, and it's the classic Batmobile. This was a series. This is the only one I have in this series. I hope that's coming out all right, but you can see the size, so it's a lot bigger, a lot more detailed. This one I really would like to take out. And it's not the end you'll see of other versions of this in this collection, because it's such an iconic one, but this was a series. Yeah, I would love to have some more of those. But yeah, those two, they're the pride of display, mainly because they both came from overseas. This one is an interesting one because places like B&M and Home Bargains get end of stock line, don't they, stuff like that. And so they had the entire run of the modern, I don't know when this one was, but again, it's big box, more modern series of Batman, and it featured all the classics and contenders and stuff like that. And so obviously the Dark Knight trilogy Batmobile is in here as well, but I'll show you that before I get into it, because there was a series of them as well, which I didn't buy all of them. I just don't understand why you would include that penguin. Was there nothing else from these movies that they could have put in there? Don't get that one. But this is Batman Forever's Batmobile. Now you might say, but Dave, you don't like that movie much. I'd like to see the R-rated cut. I've already said that. But no, I don't. But see, the one area where they kind of went camp and over-exaggerated that I don't mind about that movie is that Batmobile. Look at it. It's got that whole kind of 50s vibe, from the comics, the early comics, where it was ludicrous. I absolutely love that Batmobile. You can love a Batmobile, even though the the Batman movie that said Mobile comes from is shit. But yeah, absolutely love that. However, I do not like the Batmobile from Batman and Robin. I don't know. I don't make the rules up for what I like and don't like. Now, here we go. This is a series from about probably 5, 6, maybe 8 years ago. I got a funny feeling from when I started doing YouTube videos. And yeah, the Hot Wheels obviously break out the Tim Burton 1989 Batmobile, the best Batmobile from the best Batman movie. I love this car. Now, I may have nostalgia and love the 60s Batmobile, but this is the greatest Batmobile ever. Even as a kid in 1989 when I was 12, because Batman was a 12 certificate in the cinema, wasn't it? It was a big deal. There was a whole new cinematic restriction for kids was created for that movie, because PG-13 was Temple of Doom and that was North America, wasn't it? So yeah, I absolutely love it. It's the wrong colour. I can let them off with that, but everything about that is just, that looks like Batman in car form. Can you buy a Transformer of this that turns into, because you know you get Transformers or weird stuff like Sega Mega Drive turns into Prime, and there's a, what is it? I can't forget the other one, turns into Megatron and stuff like that. So is there a Transformer that turns from that into Batman? There should be, but great Batmobile. And when I said these things are affordable, these ones were like £1 and change. Absolutely fantastic. This one, I honestly don't know why it's in my collection. I can't remember if anyone gave it to me, because it's from the Dark Knight trilogy. The trilogy I just do not think is as good as everyone else says. And it's the Batpod from when his Batmobile's gone, you know, all blown up in tits and shit like that. And I think the real reason I don't like it is I don't want my Hot Wheels to actually have figures in them as such. Because, I mean, look. Proportion stuff. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure someone bought this for me, because Batman shouldn't have motorbikes. Batman shouldn't have motorbikes. I know you could argue this is an escape pod, but I still don't care. Batman shouldn't have motorbikes. Then, this one's interesting. It's from Batman vs Superman. As I said, shit movie, brilliant. Affleck Batman. The warehouse fight scene is fantastic. I like this because they didn't go the route of the god-awful was it the Tumbler, which is was actually made by Land Rover, wasn't it, in the Batman trilogy? And I didn't like it. I know it was a more realistic, you know, Batman and stuff like that, but did not like that. Did not want that as the Batmobile. This is all right because it's kind of a cross between that and an actual Batmobile, and that's why I bought it, because I do actually kind of like that. So it's just, I don't know, it does have a whiff of practical, workable, everyday kind of stuff about it, but also does, you know, have, you know, does look like the Batmobile. So, and again, these ones are like £1 and change. So, yeah. This one, I think I bought around about the same time as well. Now, the thing is, I love all... This one isn't from the cartoons. I've just realised what the next one is. We'll get to that when we get to that. This I had to have because I absolutely love the Batman Arkham games. I played them on the 360 and the Wii U, and I absolutely adore them. So I guess this was a kind of a completion piece, which is... I've got the Arkham City Batmobile, and I liked it at the time, but the more I have it, I guess it's like, don't let a computer game design the Batmobile, because that just, it works in the games, you know, how it's featured in the games, more so, you know, the last one or whatever. Oh, I don't even know that one's this model, but that's the Arkham City Batmobile. Now I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand how these things are dusty when they've been locked in a glass cabinet for the best part of a decade. Anyway, never mind. Yeah, I don't understand that I don't know. They're just, it's ungrown on me, I guess I should say. It's ungrown on me. Now, anyway, as for the Batman cartoon series, for me, forever, to this day, the greatest Batman is the 1990 one that was released and uses the musical score from the 89 movie and created that whole thing that the Superman then followed it up from DC, which there's kind of whole 50s looking art noir style that absolutely fantastic. To this day, it's the still best and greatest Batman animated. They got hit or miss later on, but again, I'm OCD, so this is the Batman. Not a fan of this series from what I've seen of it. A few people have lent me some, you know, ripped episodes and stuff like that, but I do really like the car. I don't know what it is. It's just a complete and utter departure from every other Batmobile there is, and this was a series of ones which I managed to get a few of, not all of them. I hate the fact that when you buy Hot Wheels, they're all dumped in a big cardboard bin. And when you're rooting for it, trying to find the ones you want, they're all bent and knackered because everyone has to root for it, and everyone goes in there, all the shoplifters just rip them off and rip them out of the package, and so you're going through a sea of used empty boxes. But yeah, I don't like that display, it makes things difficult. But yeah, you know, a quid and change, and so I got some of them, not all of them. I just don't know. It's very un-Batman-y, but looks like a Batmobile. This show's all right. This show's all right. There you go. That's what you're getting from me. This show's all right. This is Hot Wheels City. So I'm not sure, because these second ones, when I say there's no conformity between the boxes, you don't even know what other ones there are in there, which makes me think. I think this might just be a. I could be wrong. Again, I'm not up on the animated stuff that much, but a Hot Wheels envisioned Batmobile. But I like it. If it's not appeared in any other form of media, I really like it. This is something so cool about the separate, capsules for the driver, and boy wonder if he even exists in this form of Batman. I don't know. That harks back to the sort of kinda separate compartments, but they're not. But yeah, so something about that, I just liked it. Very Batman-y. Like I said, if you know what cartoon this is from, maybe it's not. I would love to know. And then we have. Oh, I love Hates, because, again, why are you so dusty? You've been sealed in a glass case. I don't know how dust works. Is dust self-aware? Nano dust, does that exist? And it's Batman 89. It's clearly Batman 89, because look at that, my favourite depiction of the bat, signal. And here you go, you can see the other ones in the series, but I just had to have this. But then, can we see the elephant in the room? Can we? Let's look at it from the top. There. If you can't see the elephant in the room, I'll give you a hand. He says, it's the massively exaggerated wheel arches. What the fuck? Hot Wheels, what the fuck? You took the greatest Batmobile of all time and thought somehow you knew better than Tim Burton and the designers from the movie, and thought, no, we can improve it, and gave it massive flared, wings, front wings, and wheel arches and shit. And it's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I think I didn't properly look at it when I bought it. I just saw the rough shape, and just went, 89 Batmobile, had to have that for my collection. But yeah, so what the fuck? You took the greatest Batmobile of all time, and then you decided to improve upon something that was actually already perfection in the first place, and you ruined it. So when I say love and hate relationship, I mean hate and hate. Now, this is Batman, but I believe this is based on the box art, and I like it. It's cool. Must be one of the comics, and obviously I reckon Jim Lee run of Batman, given that he's got Jim Lee Batman on the front. Can you see that? It's just very, very unique design. I really, 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 really like that. It looks like a rocket car they used to race on the sand flats or something like that. So I kind of really, 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 really like that. And also, it's a Batmobile, so I have to have it in my collection because it's a Batmobile. I piss and moan about the last one, but then I just kind of contradicted myself by saying it's a Batmobile. I have to have it in my collection because it's a Batmobile. Now, harking back to the first couple of models that I showed you, and it comes down to, you can never have too much of a good thing. There was another release of 60s TV Batmobile. I don't know if, well, this is really a deluxe one, so it's probably not a fair comparison. But, and again, this is a pound and change. But yeah, the inside's not the greatest, it really isn't. But it's the 60s TV Batmobile. I had to have it. It's the second best Batmobile ever created. So much so that, again, this was a different series. It's falling in line, because look, you've got the Batman god-awful wheel arch one there. So this is from that series of releases, and again, it was a pound and change. But you got it there, and automatically, this is the thing, again, no consistency. This is not as good as that release. This is better, sorry, than that release. Look at the inside. Not massively, but do you know what I mean? I personally would like all packaging this size with this, when it comes to like sort of themed collections like Batman and other superheroes and stuff like that, and the Simpsons reigns they did and things like that. Because I had that as well. This is just the touch or the scratching on the surface of my Hot Wheels collection in general, because I may collect Batmobile Hot Wheels and DeLoreans, of which there are only 3 variants of such. 4, kind of, you know what I mean. But I do have an absolutely massive Hot Wheels collection aside of this, which isn't in that cabinet. That's in storage because there's so much of it for stuff from the TV shows and things like that, Guardians of the Galaxy, Star Trek cars they did, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cars they did. I showed that in a recent pickup video. But yeah, so Hot Wheels in general, I think this comes back to what I said. It's such an affordable series to collect. But yeah, so I obviously had to have another one of those. And then a small box this time. It's the Bat Pod, Again, I'm guessing someone may have bought this for me because I'm not a fan of this, but it's in here. But where I prefer this over the other one is, it's just a Batpod. There's no Batman on it. Having a Batman I know this proportion is going to be wrong again anyway, but having an actual figure, no, your Hot Wheels. I don't want figures. So yeah, I'm not sure where I got that from. Not much love for the Batpod, as you can tell, but it's in here now, so, you know, it's in here now. Now, this is Hot Wheels City again, and I'm thinking that this is another one of the animated shows, but I can't remember what it is, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it. But the reason I bought it, again, it's £1 and change, is it's a fucking stunning Batmobile. Look at that. It's almost like they've taken elements of the Tim Burton Batmobile and then, you know, kind of uncurved it, if that makes sense. And then a pinch of the original Batmobile that was basically just from the cartoons, a bloody car with a bat head on the front. Mixed them all up in a blender and popped this bad boy out. I really, really, really like this Batmobile. Again, cartoons are not my expertise on this, apart from the next one is. But if you know which series this came from, please, please, please let me know. Now, penultimate one is Batman, the Brave and the Bold. I think that's the Brave and the Bold then. That's the Brave and the Bold Batmobile. Should have known that, shouldn't I? I think it's probably because most of my experience on the Brave and the Bold, there's not that sort of many references to the Batmobile in it. So there you go. I think more so the reason I love the Brave and the Bold, because it's almost like there's two lines of humour in it, one for kids and one for adults who know better, and it's totally got this 60s camp vibe about it. And obviously it's based on the team-up comic book of the same name, and so each issue has a different character that he teams up with, or each cartoon I should say. I don't even know if they make it, but they did make a Scooby-Doo anymore, but they did make a Scooby-Doo crossover a while back, and there is an amazing game, I've got a gameplay of it, amazing game on the Nintendo Wii with hand-drawn, hand-animated graphics, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So I think it's because, where did I put that one? Yeah, I didn't recognise it because again, Hot Wheels, why are you dicking with stuff that doesn't need to be dicked with? They've put extra paint on it and stuff like that, whereas it's Batman. It should be pretty much completely and utterly black. And the last one is a duplicate, because I don't know why they did this, but they released a Batmobile that's exactly the same as another one, but it's blue. It's blue. It's the Batman Batmobile, isn't it? Yeah. It's not as good detail. It doesn't have a matte finish, but yeah, it's the Batman Batmobile. So I don't know. Are these like deluxe ones then, because of the box art and stuff like that? And these are just bog standard entry ones. I guess they think kids are just going to open and play around with. Anyway, just a bit of fun. Stuck here in lockdown. Although having said that, I still have to work 4 nights a week. In a building that's locked down, but that's not the same thing as being completely stuck at home. But since I'm stuck here in lockdown, and a few people have been asking me what other stuff I collect, and I did promise that I would do my Batman Batmobile collection. Why am I looking at the floor when I put them away? Put them away later. How unprofessional. Did say I would show off my Hot Wheels Batmobile collection. So yeah, because not many people know I have it, and some people are generally surprised that I collect, well, A, other things than video games, B, other stuff from Back to the Future, and C, that I have such a fascination and love of the fact that Batman can't fly, you know, doesn't have any superpowers, clearly can't use public transport, has to have his own car. What do you do with your own car if it's not just how you get to work, but it's a crime fighting tool itself? I've always been fascinated with that, especially like going back to the 1960s Batman series, which introduced me to it, basically, because I didn't read comics back then. So anyway, as always, you know, I don't profess to be an expert on Batman. I am on the movies. Batman 89 is the greatest Batman movie of all time. If you disagree, taste is subjective and good for you. You're just wrong. But I just have an affinity for the Batmobile, so I thought I would show them off. I mean, if you have any secret collections, like stuff like Hot Wheels and things like that, I would love to know, you know, and share them with me in the comments down below, especially if you like Batmans, you know, or collect Batmobiles, I should say. Anyway, waffled far too much as it is. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.